video and talk about honeybees and swarming. As you can see, the hive behind me is in the middle of swarming, which is sometimes, you know, I thought I'd just talk about what's going on. So honeybees are constantly reproducing. They make and hatch about 1,200 eggs a day. So that's why you have to continually grow the hive. And in the spring, when the honeybees survive the winter, their population starts to explode right about now. And when they get too crowded in the hive, they naturally control their population by swarming. There's different triggers that cause the swarm. Sometimes it's they make new queens because they think the other queen needs to go. But what I just learned is that typically a swarm happens when the queen that's in there, her pheromone starts to get decreased so much because the population is so big that it triggers a swarm. So about 4 days ago, I just cut out a lot of swarm cells that were in there. When they make swarm cells, that's an indication that obviously they're going to swarm. So you can only cut out so many. They make them so fast and then they hide them. You can't necessarily cut them out. Or one might have a queen. Swarm cells are queens being born or made and then born. Anyway, one could have already hatched and went out and is now mated and has come back, and that will trigger a swarm when there's two queens. Luckily, this swarm is clustering. That's half the hive and the other half of the hive is here. So when they settle down, I am going to get my nuke box and put them in the nuke and have them split. They just kind of split themselves instead of me doing it for them. I've been reluctant to do splits because I don't have any more space. But now that this is the second hive that swarmed in 2 days, maybe I just should next spring plan on making splits and selling them off, because I don't have any more space or want to have more than 4 hives. So if anybody's interested in beekeeping and they want some bees, I'll probably have more because I have 2 more hives and they're probably both going to swarm. So due to some technical difficulties with the audio, I'm voicing over what happened here. But the hive that clustered up in the tree while I was making the previous video has now dissipated and is reclustering, it looks like, on the face of the hive. So I went in close and investigated, and there's no movement of the bees back into the hive. So I think they just, instead of clustering up there on the fence, they have clustered here on the face. So since they've clustered on top of the face of the hive, I went and grabbed my nuke box that I was using as a swarm trap to see if they'd march in there. But we were losing time, so I made a decision to shave them off the front of the hive and put them in the nuke box, hoping to grab the queen, and that's what I'm looking for right here. I'm kind of looking for the queen. So my husband had this great idea of using that file folder, and I use that instead of my hands to scoop up the bees to put in the nuke box. So that's me getting in position. Getting ready to do that. And the file folder actually worked really good because I was able to be really gentle, having hopefully as few casualties as possible. So that's what I do, is scrape them up and then dump them into the box. So a lot of friends and family have asked me if swarming is bad, and it's not bad. It's a natural. It's a natural thing. It's them running out of space, or having two or more queens, and they're just naturally splitting the colony for the betterment of the colony. Beekeepers, though, in managing hives, typically want to manage that and not have it naturally occur so that they can keep all their resources. So that's what I'm learning this year, is that, because I was pretty sad these past 2 days with the swarming and leaving, even though I know that it's natural and they will do it, but I guess it's better for me to manage it and not them manage it, if possible. So lessons learned. I'll be more prepared next spring. Hope you enjoy the video, and there'll be more to come in the future. Like and subscribe.